looks a bit different to me today. Okay, it's Monday morning and we will start standing up. You don't really need any props, just the usual props that you would use for sitting, or if we're not on hands and knees today. So yeah, we will be coming down though onto our backs. So whatever you need for that. Today is a flowy kind of class. Doing again a bit of everything, shoulders, hips. So we'll begin, bit of movement. Let's just get the blood flowing, wake up the body a little bit. So I'm just swinging the arms side to side, my favorite thing to do. You guys go ahead and do whatever you want. And I'm going to take some deep breaths in through the nose and probably out through the mouth for the first couple. And letting the belly relax. And even though I'm moving, I really want to invite this ease of movement in. So moving in a relaxed sort of way. So no tension anywhere, no holding in the belly or around the shoulders or in the jaw. Just start to invite that sense of ease in the body. And I'm just going to wiggle the hips from side to side and bring the shoulders in up to the ears. A roll of the shoulders, a lift of the arms. If your arms don't naturally come up all this far without the ribs helping, you can always bend at the elbows. Come down in cactus arms. Bring them all the way behind. Clasp the hands. And come into your standing position. So feet about hip width distance apart. Taking the weight, bringing it back into the heels. Tucking the chin a little. Take the hands away from the bum if you can and down towards the floor. So pressing the hands towards the floor and out from the bum. Take a breath. And exhale and let that go. Arms up again, maybe out by your sides or forward, up to you. Bring the arms up, cactus. Bring them down slowly. So you're almost like pressing the arms back, shoulder blades are coming together, and you're moving the arms down. And we'll move up. Take a breath, exhale, move down. Clasp the hands with one pinky, the other pinky on the bottom. Tucking the chin. Hands down, reaching down towards the floor. So you're bringing the elbows in as much as possible. Don't be forcing anything. Take the hands away from the bum. Exhale, release. Just coming into the neck. Release the neck down. Chin towards the chest, relaxing arms. Big breath in, exhale, just really lengthen. Let the back of the neck lengthen, just relax. Relax around the belly here. You may have to push your weight a little bit back in the heels if you notice that your quads or your thighs are coming out towards your toes. Just make sure you can push the weight back a little. We'll do some circles one way. Move with the breath. Inhale up the other way. Let the head hang again. And then very carefully keeping the chin tucked so you can lift your head so the neck's nice and long in the back. And then gently look over the left. You can kind of look up a little bit and down, just very gentle though. You don't want any weird sensations when you're doing this. Come forward, the other side, looking up, very gentle, looking down. Take a breath. come forward. And we're just going to move. So you're moving the head. We can move around in little circles, just to begin, little circles. And then we're going to bring the chest in. So we're just kind of rolling around through the spine. So you're just like, if your face is straight, it's almost like you're making circles with the nose kind of. So, but really just thinking about the thoracic spine, hips staying where they are, and we're just rolling around. So rolling, going in one direction, and going in the other. So if you want to see this side on, I'm basically, well, I don't want my hips to move, so that look let my hips move in, but I'm really just focusing the movement and moving from the ribs here. I'm just around in circles. Hard to explain this one. And now we're going to, so we're moving, and now really just move. You can let the hips move, whatever. You're just going to move and continue this movement. And you can let the hips come in circles as well. So it looks more like, and I just have my hands on my ribs because I like that. And you can go in the other direction. And now you can bring the arms in. So you can come to standing again. And I'm just going to bring the arm up to the sides. So, and I mean, really, you can change this. We're just getting some nice fluid movement in the spine and in the shoulder. So I'm going to move the arm up. So taking the arm and making a big circle, and then twisting and coming around. And then, so reaching the arm back, a little twist here, and then I'm going to make circles in the other way. So I'm just making huge circles, twisting through the spine here, the thoracic spine. Making big circles. You can do one way, and then the other. And then the other arm, same thing, just twisting. Move with the breath, nice, gentle movement. Go around in the other direction. So you can see I'm twisting a little through the hips, through the thoracic spine, just getting a lot of fun movement. Really, that's all this is. I'm going to open my arms now wide and continue to move through the spine, but I'm kind of doing this more of a, I don't know what you call this, like a butterfly or a, so I'm just like flapping my wings, closing my wings and opening, bringing the chest forward. So honestly, you can just move here however you want. Bring all those movements in together, swinging the arms one at a time, backwards, bringing the hands in. And so as I open, I'm kind of reaching my chest forward and closing and rounding the upper back, opening, bringing the chest forward, closing, arching the back, and really do whatever feels good here. And we will relax. Take some breaths in here. You can probably feel now the energy moving through your body. Open the arms nice and wide again. Really bring the shoulder blades together. So stretch the arms back, really moving through the shoulder blades, pinching the shoulder blades together. Take a breath. Bring one arm over and then just gently with the other arm, you're squeezing the arm in closer to you. You can reach with that arm. Take some breaths. And now you're going to bend that arm, that top arm, and you're going to bring it up so that have your arm like this. And you can gently hold the elbow with your other hand. So your arm is up about shoulder width. Doesn't have to be that high. You can bring it down lower if that's more comfortable. And you're just going to open that arm now. So or that hand, you're going to take it from the shoulder and open it up and close. So while you're doing this, you may feel like bringing the arm a little closer to you, okay? And open and close. and open and close. So you're really feeling the movement in the back of this shoulder, okay? So it's kind of giving you the same sensation as eagle pose, just a different variation. And last one here. And relax, open wide, reach the shoulder blades together. Take a breath, bring the other arm over now. So I'm just bringing the arm over. The shoulder isn't up. So if the shoulder is up, start over. Bring the arms, bring it over. And just pushing that arm a little bit and reaching. And then bending at the elbow and bringing that hand to the other side. And you're going to adjust here. So I'm kind of like lifting up on my arm and opening and closing here, okay? You may want to bring the arm closer towards your body to just get that, that sensation there. Move with the breath, relax the belly and the jaw. And one more here. And relax, a little side stretch. Reach, focusing the stretch, the hips, between the hips and the ribs. Reach the arm up. The arm can be behind your head as well, if that's more comfortable. And come down and come onto the other side. You can look down if you want. You can look up. You can just keep your head neutral. Take a breath. And come down, reach the arms again, nice and open. Clasp the hands together, turn them inside out and stretch in front of you. If you want, you can bring the arms towards the heart and stretch them out again. Take some breaths. Inhale towards the heart, exhale, push the arms away from you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Release the arms, big circles. And give that a little shake, a little roll of the shoulders. And just take a moment and come to your breath. Let the belly relax. And remember that breath where the ribs expand on the inhale, giving room for the lungs to expand. So imagining that. I'm holding my ribs just to feel the ribs move and expand on the inhale. And relax. Come to, well, actually, you don't have to come to the top of your mat yet. I'm going to do some hip rolls. So hip circles. So ground down, lift the knee. Probably stay here. Flex the leg if you can. Come back up. Make sure your weight is not coming over your toes. You've still got a little weight in the back of your heel. We're going to open that leg now and point the knee down towards the floor and come in. So up, open, down, and close. Checking with this standing hip. You don't want it to start coming out to the sides. You're really practicing stabilization around this hip. You may want to take a hand just as a reminder there to keep that hip in. You may need to hold something for balance as well. And let's slow it down. So up, open, down towards the floor, and close, and see if you can do one more. Up, open, towards the floor, and close. Getting a lot of work on the standing leg as well. Give it a little shake. Big breath in. Breath out. Standing, putting our weight into our right leg now. Weight a little bit back in the heels. Lift the knee. So we're just lifting the knee, not really hiking the hip up, just lifting the knee. Extend the leg if you can. Flex flex the foot back and forth. And now open the leg. Woo! And knee towards the floor and close, up, open, floor, close, open, or up, open, floor, and close. And we'll try to do one really slow. Keep that hip in, weight back in your heels, up, woo, open, stay there for a sec. Down towards the floor and close. Bring the leg down, a little shake. Okay, now we're coming to the top of our mat, going into a little bit of a flow now. So what do we have? Okay, feet planted, spread the toes, weight back in the heels. Little shake first to get started. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, weight on the left foot, and we're going to bring the right foot up. And this time, if you can go behind the thigh, or you can go in front of the knee. You're keeping this hip in and just seeing if you can bring that leg a little closer. Hold, breath. And we're going to step that leg back. So we're coming into this warrior two position. Knee over the ankle on the front leg. We'll just press the ankle down a couple of times to begin. So we're getting that movement in the hip here. Hips forward, the knee in the back, just bringing the heel down towards the floor, back the thigh. Real feeling like you're pushing the back of the thigh up towards the ceiling. So there's a difference in just coming down, moving the heel down. When you move the heel down, feel like you're pressing the back of your thigh up towards the ceiling. And do that a couple times. And you can hold there, get a nice stretch even through the hip flexors here. And now we're going to bring those arms, so staying here nice and stable in the hips, bring the arms up, and then come back down into cactus arms. And now I'm going to reach the arms up, keeping the arms at the ankle, and coming back down. Arms up, and arms down. And this time when you bring the arms down, bring the elbows right down to the waist, palms facing up, and you're going to open the arms wide and come together. Wide and come together. So wide and come together. Open and close. And now open and reach. Come back in, close, reach. In, open, reach. One more, close, reach. And come back. And now we're going to pivot right over so that we are in our warrior two. So we're in warrior one. Pivot now on the back foot. So now that your heel is probably lined up with the arch of your foot, knee of the front leg over the ankle. Bring some weight back in the back if you're hanging out too much in the front. So just get yourself situated here first. You can bring the arms out towards the sides, palms facing up towards the ceiling. You can look over towards the right hand or forward, whatever is comfortable. Take some breaths here. If your knee of the front leg is starting to come over, push it back. You can even have a hand there and push into your hand here. Take some breaths. Bring the arms out towards your side. We're coming into that bow and arrow. So taking the back arm, coming around, twisting through thoracic spine. Don't have to touch hands, just come to where it's comfortable. And you're reaching and then pulling back, creating resistance there. So we're just not, we're really reaching and pulling back. Reaching and pulling back. And you can even do it the other way. We'll reach the other way and come back. Reach back. And reach back. And now we're going to bring this arm, the front arm down like the forearm on top of the thigh, not sinking in, just touching the thigh, bringing the other arm overhead, or like I said, you can have it here with the hand behind your head. And we're going to then come back up. So back hand comes onto the leg, the other one comes up in the air or behind your head. And then we're going to come back and forth with that movement. So move with your breath. Really pushing that leg open. And you can always circle it around. Do whatever here feels good. Coming down, you can circle the arms, so windmill the arm in front of you. Come back. Come forward, windmill the arm. Come up. And now this time we're going to stay down with the hand resting on the thigh. You're opened up here to the side. And with just the ribs only, you're going to do a little twist. So I have my hands on my ribs just to remind my ribs. Do a little twist and come up. Twist and come up. Unbend that knee. Toes forward. Do a little tiny, the toes can be forward, they can be out to the sides, whatever's comfortable, doing a little forward fold here. Hands on the hips, push the bum back, keep the back nice and straight. Now we're just coming over, you can bend the knees a little, don't have to lock them out. Head aligned, tucking the chin. Taking a couple breaths. Inhale, come up, come to the top of your mat. And now we're going to do the other leg. So I forget which one I was on. I was on this one. Okay, so really pushing down the right leg now, I believe. And weight a bit back in the heels. And we're going to bring the knee up. Hold the knee with your hand or your thigh. Don't let the other hip come out, really pulling in. And you can bring that leg towards you. Breath. And step it all the way back. So stepping it back, and this time bringing the heel down towards the floor again. So knee over the ankle. We're in this warrior one position, bringing your arms up. And still moving the heel down towards the floor. And bring the arms back down. And now I'm reaching the heel down towards the floor, thigh coming up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to hold for a sec and take a breath. Relax the arms down by your sides. Now bring the arms up, bring them into cactus, and bring the arms down and up. Down. So keeping the angle of the arms a 90-degree. Flat on your back, and you're moving the arms up and down. Remind that leg to stay where it is and not collapse inward, pushing that leg out. And now bringing the arms down, elbows in by your sides, flip the palms up to the ceiling, and we're going to open and close here. Open and close. Probably getting a bit tired on the back leg. Open and close, a couple more times. And now with the arms open, reach. Hold. Come down. Forward. So you're bringing the arms close and then reaching forward. You're still keeping that 90-degree angle kind of in your arms. You're reaching forward. Come in, open, reach. Exhale in. Open, reach, or close, reach, sorry. Breath. In. Let that relax. What am I missing? Anything? Coming right into warrior now. So coming into warrior, arms out, heel align with the arch of the back foot or the heel, wherever is comfortable for you. And bow and arrow. So we're going to bring the hand and then open. Bring the hand to reach the other hand. You don't have to close your hands together, remember? Just coming and opening up, pulling, reaching and pulling. And you can move the body. You don't have to keep your torso completely still. Moving and reaching. Reminding that front leg. Push it open. And now going the other way. So reaching the other arm and coming. And now coming down with the forearm towards your leg here. I'm not collapsing and just hanging out. I'm just touching the forearm to my leg, bringing the other arm up, either straight, you can bring it up over your ear. It's up to you, wherever is comfortable, hand behind your neck. And now coming down, exalted warrior. I think this is back leg. It's been a while back. Hand to back leg and bringing the other arm up. So you're going to come back and forth between these two positions. And move with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Coming down now, holding here. I'm going to take my hand to my ribs and doing a little twist towards that bent leg. Small twist. Last one. And come up. Whoo, pivot. The legs a little closer together, a little forward fold here. Hinging at the hips, hands on the hips. Take a breath in. Long neck, exhale, pushing the bum back towards the heels or over the heels, coming down. We're just keeping the back straight for now. You can bend the knees a little. You want to get a little bit more room in the hips. And then I'm bending in the knees to push myself back up. And bring the toes, heels together. Give it a little shake. Let's have a rest here. Come back to the breath. Invite a sense of ease throughout the body. You notice that as things get difficult, you started to clench or tense somewhere. Just bring your awareness to those areas and let them relax. Those breaths where you feel the ribs, the lungs expand, okay? We're going to come into like a little chair pose. So our feet can be about hip width distance apart still. Some people do it with their feet together, and that's going to be up to you. I like having my feet a little further apart. And we're just going to be sitting back as though you're sitting back in the chair. So just sitting and staying, okay? So we don't have to arch our back and thrust our ribs here, okay? So keep the ribs down. All you're doing really is just hinging. There's a little bend in the knees, right? Because you're coming down a bit like you're going to sit in a chair. So you can practice that a couple times to just make sure you're not arching the back to come down. So you're really sitting and the weight is in your heels, okay? And we'll come up, and this time when you come down, you're just gonna hold. So for some people, if this is hard on your lower back, and I know for me, I have to really tuck my pelvis under, okay? So when I come down, I'm not like, oh, tucking it completely under. When I come down, I get this sense of just tucking my pelvis a little bit under when I come down. It helps me keep my ribs in, and it really feels much better on my lower back. So we're just holding here. Now, if you're like this position with the legs is closed, if you need to open your legs a little wider, please, you can do that. And we're going to come up. Inhale, exhale, come down. So just the hinge. I'm bringing my hands into prayer. You can have them on wherever you want. I like them in prayer here. I'm just looking down at the floor, holding, and come up. Come down, and this time I'm not coming down as far, just a little, and I'm just moving my weight from one foot to the other. So you really feel this in your bum muscles, okay? So you're really putting your weight back into your heels, and you're shifting your weight from side to side. So waking up the glutes here. Move with the breath, relax the jaw. Inhale, exhale, move to the other side. Inhale, exhale. And now I'm going to really start moving my weight where I'm picking the toe up off the floor. Come up. Give that a shake. And this time we're going to come down in a little bit more of a squat. So I'm going to open my legs a little wider. My toes are still pointing forward, but if that's not comfortable for you and you need to have your toes out a little bit, that's fine. I'm going to come down now into a little squat. Same thing. I'm not hinging over forward. I'm just coming down as straight as possible and coming up. And coming down. And now I'm just going to stay in this. I'm not coming all the way down. Come up. I'm going to come down just a little tiny bit. Weight in the back, just like you did in your chair. You're just down a little tiny bit. I'm going to move now the weight over to one side and to the other. When you come over, you're pushing your weight back into your bum. Okay, so you're really feeling this in the glutes. Again, another thing that looks quite easy maybe on the outside, but once you start, it can be really quite challenging. And you can make it as challenging as you want. And I'm sure you can feel that here, like you can bend down a little bit more and push your weight back and push out of that leg and push out of that leg. Coming down towards the right. The knee, I'm trying not to have the knee come over the toes, okay? You're really pushing your bum back. And then when I push to come up, I'm pushing from the heel and coming over to the other side and push out of the heel and come up. Give that a little shake. And I'll open the legs a little wider. The toes may come out now to the sides. So coming into a wider squat. And we're going to come down now, push the bum back. Push from the heels up. Do that a couple of times. Move with your breath. Exhale, push up. Come down. Exhale, push up. Come down, a little tiny bit this time, okay? Just come down, and we're going to do that same thing. So I'm kind of coming up onto the toe, or you can come up onto the heel and push yourself back. Really pushing from the glutes, okay? Pushing it back, pushing yourself up from the heel, and really, really think about the glute and using that muscle to push yourself back up. And we'll come all the way to standing now. Come up, come down onto one side, push out of that heel. Coming up to full stance, come down onto the other side, push through that glute. And we're coming over from side to side here. Whew. And you can move the arms, so bring them up, back, forward, back, forward, back, Last one, one more. Whoops, I did it wrong at a time. Okay, pivot the feet, toes, heels, toes, heels. Give that a shake. Let's give a roll to the shoulders back and forward. Okay, we're coming down to the floor. Come down to whatever way you want, or you can come with me and try to squat down to the floor. I'm opening my legs nice and wide, toes turned out towards the sides. I'm gonna squat. So I'm gonna squat, squat, squat. You're gonna have to adjust your feet. And I'm gonna see if I can get all the way down onto my bum. Woo! Crack, crack in the knees. So we'll meet you down on the floor. Take a breath. And we're gonna come down to our backs. Have something for your neck and grab a block, actually. And you might even wanna grab 2 blocks because I'll just show you another option. We're gonna go into some bridge, still working in the glutes, okay? So come down. So today was more of a, I guess, a backside kind of. We did a lot of work in the legs and the back of the legs. So we're gonna come down onto our backs. Get nice and cozy, ribs touching, small arch in the lower back. So first I want you to take the block and put it between your legs. We're coming into bridge here. Now, as we come up in bridge, remember, we want to keep that arch in our lower back. We're not coming up to bridge and flattening out that our lower back, okay? So feet pushed into the floor. And with this block, we're gonna squeeze the block together. And then we're gonna lift. And as you lift, you want to keep the lower arch and you want to keep the ribs and the pelvis, the hips, at the same kind of plane. So when you're lifting those 2 parts as one. Okay, so I'm squeezing the block, and some people like to just squeeze the block and that's enough. That's good enough. I like to have that feeling like I'm pulling my feet towards my bum a little bit, okay? And you can really feel then the engagement going on in the inner thighs. So I'm gonna lift. You don't have to lift really, really far, okay? Just come as far as you want, or maybe just start out small. I'm just gonna hold. Squeeze the block now. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the block. Just noticing the sensation there. And come down. Squeeze the block, come up, hold. Hands can be out by the sides. Squeeze the block. You can start to come up a little higher. Remember, just keeping the ribs and the hips on the same plane as you come up. Really pulling the feet toward you. Feel that glutes are turned on. In some yoga classes, they say to relax the glutes. I don't agree with that. I feel like we need to engage to support here. And with the hips and the ribs at the same plane, you're lowering down just as you came up. Okay, we'll do one more. Come up. Squeeze the block. And now see if you can, so once you're up, get to that nice, comfortable place, squeezing the block. And now see if you can lift up onto one toe and lay that toe down and then come up on the other one. So I'm not moving my pelvis. I'm just kind of trying to lift the toe without the pelvis moving that much, okay? So lifting up in the toes, you're kind of squeezing in the block and lifting and come down. And come down, keep going. One and the other. One more on each side. Lift. And lower. Come down, keeping everything on the same plane. Move the block, take a breath, take a relax, shake the legs, or you can wind wiper them from side to side. You have the 2 blocks. Let's try the bridge, and I just want you to see how it feels for you, and put these blocks under your feet, okay? I'm just going to put them together and move them down. Making sure your heels are on the block. Bring them wherever it's comfortable for you. Get situated, ribs on the floor. Putting my hands on my hips and my ribs to remind them to come up together, pressing down in the blocks. And now we're going to lift and hold, holding like you're going to pull the blocks between towards your bottom. Hold, hold, hold. And come down, nice and slow, 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 slow. Okay, take a little relax. I'm going to do it again. So push into the blocks, like you're pulling the feet towards you, lift up, and then so there's a block between your legs, or you can put, if you have a 3rd block, put it between your legs. And once we're up, we're going to come back to that lift and lower. Lift onto the toes and lower, lift. So really noticing work happening in an entirely different place, perhaps, and still in the back of the legs though. Woo! Like, this is another move, right? If somebody were to watch this, it looks so simple, but oh my God, I'm burning. Okay. Can we do one more on each side? Oh, good job, everybody. Let's come all the way down. Oh my goodness, that was great. Okay, let's move the blocks to the side. Stretch the legs out, stretch the arms out. I'm going to cross the right leg over the left one, so at the ankle. And then I'm going to grab the right wrist with the left hand. And just a gentle little pull. This is very gentle. You're not going to get, we're not going into this full like C shape. And go to the other side. And come back down. Okay, we're coming to the very end here. I'm just going to do a quick figure 4 because I just love figure 4. Lift the leg, internal, external rotation. Keep it externally rotated now. The out, place the leg, the ankle onto the other leg. If you need your leg to come out, please do. What we want is to maintain that arch in the lower back. Lift the bottom leg off the floor, but only bring that leg in until the back starts to flatten. And that's your boundary. That's your stopping point right there. And you don't have to stay there where you're pulling as hard as you can. I like to say, go back about 10% from your boundary. So if you pull it in as hard as you can, ease back a little tiny bit, okay? You can bring now that top foot down towards the floor. So you can just like do a little tiny twist here back and forth. Some people like to bring their foot all the way to the floor. If that's something that you enjoy, you can go ahead. That is not good for my back, however, so I don't do that. Okay, I'm going to change now to the other side. So again, you know, it's most important that you don't have to take your leg and bring it over, okay? So if that's the case, you need to move this leg out, bring the leg up, internal, external rotation, externally rotate it, drop the ankle, and then you can play with bringing that leg closer towards you, okay? And perhaps all the way up, maybe on the toe, or maybe you can lift the foot all the way up, bringing that leg in towards you, but without the back. I still have that arch in my lower back. Come to a relaxed breath. And then you can bring that foot down towards the floor if you want, and up. Okay, lower that bottom leg, take the top leg off, and get your last movement in before we go right into Shavasana. So if you want to open and close the legs, butterfly the legs. Something that I don't do normally, because a lot of people don't have that mobility sometimes, but keeping that arch in my back, bending my knees, and coming into this happy baby. So I don't like to come into happy baby where I'm rolling my spine all the way up, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. I like keeping that arch in my back and grabbing my heels. So get all cozy now for the lovely Shavasana Relaxation. Horse pose is also called. It's a time to relax and feel so good about getting that in on a Monday morning. I felt exhausted before this class, but I must say, I feel way more energized after that. And also just spending it with you, even though it's virtually, I still get this sense of togetherness and practicing together, and I hope you guys do too. Smile on the face. Relaxing the whole body, giving your body thanks, and then giving your body some rest. So your arms can be up, palms up towards the ceiling, opening your heart to the world and to the day. Relaxing into the floor. Relax the jaw, the space between the eyes, the top of your head. And relaxing your face. Bringing your attention to the throat and around the neck and the ears, and trying to invite some ease there. Moving into the shoulders. Relax all the arms, the two arms, relax your arm. Noticing the sensation going through your arms. Notice that energy or that feeling, the tingling. Invite your arms to completely let go. Become heavy. And moving to your chest, the front of your chest, the space between your shoulder blades. And trying to bring a little ease there. Moving down the spine and the back. All the muscles of the back. So trying to really release your back into the floor. Inviting ease around the belly and your breath. Your pelvis heavy. Relax. Even your pelvic floor. No clenching around the belly. Space between the teeth. Let your mouth gently open a bit. Reminding that relaxation from the top of the head, move down, down, now into your legs. Your glutes, the backs of your legs are all the way down to the sole of the foot and out through the toes and the front of the legs. Feeling that energy move from the front of the body, the top of the head, move all the way down, down, and out through the toes. Notice if there's any gripping or still happening, and remind those places to relax. space between the eyebrows. And for now, just letting those thoughts float by without engaging if you can. Even saying the words relax, relax to yourself. And imagine that your whole mat and everything is just separate from everything else. Like you're almost floating. Noticing any sensations you have. And noticing how you feel right now. And if you can, make an intention to have a peaceful day. A day of smiles. A day of peace. And a day of love. A day of thanks. Please stay here and give your body what it needs. I hope you have an amazing day, a great week, and I hope to see you back on Thursday.